Your status makes you anxious because you're constantly vilified by in current affairs. Like, even if you save so much money, you think, oh yes, this is going to be alright, I'm prepared, I have my savings. The banks have the legal right to actually freeze your bank account, take your savings away. Your finances, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm broke, I'm sad. I am very sad. My mom knows this. I am just the saddest of the sad. Honey, I am sad.
Howdy people, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hey, hi, who, hi. Today I'm going to be talking about something that's kind of like near and dear to most BAME ethnic background, blah, blah, blah. But because of recent events, I want to talk about it more, but I want to talk about it from a perspective of a bigger picture, because I feel like so many people are focusing on one person and one thing when there's actually a bigger picture and there's a bigger issue when it comes to immigration, finances and mental health. Before I get started and start talking about what I want to talk about, if you are looking at me and you're looking at this screen, there's a screen, obviously you're watching me from a screen, and there's a red button on this screen, and in that button it says subscribe. Just do me one favor. Oh yeah, come, let's stick our fingers. Oh yeah, press it. Help me, guys. Subscribe. Why wouldn't you want to subscribe? I feel like some of you just come here to pre and go. Subscribe. It's free. Like, honestly. And that's what I wanted to touch on was mental health and immigration status. I think a lot of people, when we think about anxiety and immigration, we think about public anxiety. We think about how the public feels about, you know, an influx of migrants coming in, taking all our jobs, blah, blah. But we never actually sit down and think about the impact of immigration on the person who's coming into the country, on the migrant themselves. When you come to a new country, either because of your skin tone, because of your language barrier, because of anything, whether you're from Zimbabwe, Poland, Nigeria, Ghana, Jamaica, you're going to feel like the other. You clearly stick out like a sore thumb. You're not from this country, so naturally you don't belong. Then you also further feel like the other because of your immigration status, and the law constantly reminds you that you do not belong here. The law also infiltrates through public opinion, it infiltrates policies, it infiltrates every aspect of life, and your social being is kind of hindered in that way because you always are constantly reminded that you do not belong here. So anxiety naturally would come from that. You don't feel stable, you don't feel secure, you don't feel safe. The public's attacking you. Politicians are using your situation as a tactic against each other to gain some leverage. Then you read the magazines or you read the newspapers, everyone's constantly attacking you. How are you meant to feel stable? How are you not meant to feel anxious with people always coming at you for your status? Your status makes you anxious because you're constantly vilified by in current affairs. I don't understand how people do not see how people can have mental health problems like anxiety because of their immigration status. It's not a joke, it's nothing to be played with, because I know so many people that have been affected by this. I hate this idea that people think, oh, migrants are coming here and they're feeling comfortable. Not a lot. Some of them feel comfortable, but a lot of them don't feel comfortable. A lot of them are anxious about the life they've left back home and the life they're about to start here. Moving on, not just anxiety, but you can also have depression because of your status also equally means that you can't always get a job, which means no social mobility, which means your social circles are hindered. You're not always going to be around people. You're not going to be able to make friends as quite as easy because you don't have that kind of socialization where you go to work, you learn new things from work. As I learn so much from going to work. I make friends from going to work. I meet new people. I integrate into society from going to work. But if you're not able to integrate into society because of your immigration status, you are going to fall into the depths of depression because you just feel like worthless. A lot of people are going to be graduating this year, and I'm pretty sure so many people have already been applying for jobs and you get rejected and you get so many disappointments, and then it makes you feel worthless. I've always said that not having a job or unemployment can destroy your self-esteem. Like, it destroys it because you're just thinking, why are they not hiring? What is wrong with me? It really messes up with your psyche and how you see yourself. It messes up with your confidence. You're like, I can't even get a job. I ain't shit. That's literally how you feel. Now imagine that you can't even get a job, not because you can't even be seen. Like your application, if they see that you're tier something, tier 4, whatever, you're on a constrictive visa, sis, they're not even going to look at your application. Do you know how hard it is to even think, right, I can't get a job, not because I'm not qualified, but because my application is not going to be seen at all. They're not going to respect it. You feel sad, you feel this small. Final point I wanted to make quickly is your immigration status and your finances go hand in hand, okay? There's currently a petition going about to decrease the fees of visa applicants and definitely to remain, all of that, because it's quite high. A lot of people who don't have a settled status in the country are not applying for the high-flying jobs where they're working at Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all of this. They're applying for jobs that will just help them survive and meet their day-to-day needs. And there's this misconception that they're taking all your jobs, but really, what jobs are they taking that you want? That's my question. You don't want these jobs. These jobs that they're applying for, they're low paying jobs. So how can you expect someone to raise the fees to get their visa when the jobs they have or the jobs they can apply for don't pay that much? They don't pay that much. You have a job that is barely making ends meet and you don't have any disposable income. It's not like you're going out saying, you want a couple of cans, Julie? You ain't saying that. You're really saving. You're really trying to manage your life. You got to pay rent. You got to pay electricity. You got to buy food. If you have kids, it's even 10 times worse. So there's this misconception that they're taking all our jobs, but do you realize what they're spending money on? They're spending money on trying to get a stable status. Immigration policies like the Immigration Act 2016 they are made with the intent to create a hostile environment for illegal immigrants and migrants. I'm not even joking. Basically, even if you're applying for your status and you're saving money in your bank account, your little Barclays, your little Lloyds, whatever, what happens is banks have to regularly do a quarterly check on anyone that they deem is an illegal immigrant or doesn't have a verified status. A verified status could also mean that your immigration is currently being processed by the Home Office, and because you haven't currently got the final result yet, they will shut down your bank account and it will freeze your bank account. So you've been saving so much money trying to do stuff to just get some stability in your life. Even if you save so much money, you think, oh yes, this is going to be alright, I'm prepared, I have my savings. The banks have the legal right to actually freeze your bank account, take your savings away. And this is what I mean, that there's a bigger picture to being a migrant or illegal immigrant, whatever you want to call it, that people do not actually understand. Your finances are affected, and your finances, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm broke, I'm sad. I am very sad. My mom knows this. I am just the saddest of the sad. Honey, I am sad. Okay, so when you're broke, when you ain't got no money and you need this money for a certain thing, it's like me, when I'm broke, maybe I don't even really need it it's just because I want to buy something that is really out of my budget. But some people are broke because they're trying to apply for something that they need. Do you know how depressive that is? That is depressive AF. You can look at someone and say, where was your money management skills? Blah, 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 blah. But honestly, I know that there's a bigger picture to this whole thing. Luckily, when I was younger, so I didn't have to, when I got my status, my stay, I didn't have to really worry about the finances part of it. But I remember I said in a video about why I love to travel. I remember there were sometimes I felt left out and isolated because I couldn't go on trips, and I completely understand that perspective. And luckily, I was young, so I didn't have to worry about the money too much. I can't imagine being under the age of 16 having to worry about where I'm going to get the money from. Oh my God. Because I was under the age of 16 when I got my status, so I just, bruh. It's not easy, rah. And I think we need to start just like looking at the bigger picture, how it really, really impacts you. No one's out here living a life. It impacts your mental health. And it's so funny that for a place that people always say, oh, mental health is important, do we give that same respect to strangers? Do we? I uploaded a new post on my blog about my trip to Hong Kong. It was a very short one because honestly, I'm not out here reading long posts, long blog posts. People will be writing reams and reams of words. I need to write reams and reams of words for my essay. So yeah, go check that out. I take really cool pictures when I travel, so you can go check that out and have a great day, guys. Take care of yourself. Bye.